aboard, explorers. This is the second episode of the Omnus Chronicles, the podcast where no topic is too out of this world and no story is left untold. I'm Captain Karen, commander of the USS Omnus, your guide and mediator through these uncharted territories of thought, philosophy, and all things Trek. We are charting a course through the stars and straight into your imagination. Today, our topics will be Destination Trek, favorite Star Trek movies, and why and who would win in a space battle, Pike versus Janeway. So what we're going to do now is you can do a quick introduction of yourself and then we can get underway, and we'll start with Clive.
Thank you. So I'm Clive. I'm the CEO of the USS Mercia in Region 20 of Starfleet International, and also the editor of the Runabout. For
all of you that don't know, that is the newsletter for the region. And David actually had an article in there not too long ago. So it is really interesting to read, and there's a lot that goes into it, so it's really cool. Craig?
I'm Craig, and I'm Lieutenant.
Short and sweet. David?
I'm David. I am Lieutenant of the Omnus and second in charge of the Operations Department, so glory to you and your house.
I'm Lieutenant Hugh McDonald. I am aboard the Omnus, and I'm second in charge of the Communications Department.
Mary?
Hi, I'm Marie Smith. I am First Officer of the USS Mercia. I've been with SFI now for about 4 years, and the Mercia's been going for about 18 months now. So, really pleased to be here this evening.
Awesome. And then lastly, Kieran. Yeah, well, Kieran is obviously Kieran. He is part of our operations team, and he is second in charge of our medical. Obviously, for those of you who don't know, I am the captain of the Omnus. And yeah, well, we'll get into it because Clive has to run away just now. So the first topic is Destination Trek. I know Hugh has a few things that he wants to discuss, but obviously Clive and Marie can go away. But before you do, I did promise Clive that we would do this. We have to say happy belated birthday to you.
Yay, happy birthday!
Sorry.
Happy birthday.
I did have the most amazing birthday by having it with my Trek friends in at DT. Thank you, everyone.
Well then, first topic is up for is Destination Trek, which Clive and Marie went to this year. First question, how did it go?
Smith?
Oh, honestly, we hoped it would be great. It was beyond our wildest dreams. We'd been talking about it for a couple of months, so it was on our mind, and there was messages being passed around at silly o'clock some days. About ideas that we had. We had decided once we decided to do the stand at DT, one of the crew came up with the idea of not having a table to stand behind, but instead have the table to the side, so that actually it was about the talking to people. And that was the most ingenious. That's the thing that absolutely made it. And so we were literally talking pretty much the whole 3 days to people, just engaging with people. And that's, of course, what SFI is about. It's about the community. It's about the individuals. It's the fan community. As far as what we had on the stand, we had Toss the Tribble, that well-known game where you throw tribbles at a board, at a hoop with a picture of Chancellor Gowron, because, you know, the whole Klingon and tribble issue. And I'll let Clive tell you how that went. And our second officer at the Mercia had made a huge SFI frame and we took photos with people from SFI and actually a couple of others as well, using their own cameras and with a story background. And we've got some fabulous photos running through a Destination Trek Facebook group and their own SFI groups, with picture in cosplay, with people in pictures in their uniforms, and just generally Trek t-shirts as mementos of the weekend. So yeah, it was fabulous. Clive, add to it.
Yeah, the t-shirts in fact were so good that Tim Ross thought there was a Star Trek series he didn't know about. That's a genuine comment from the weekend. So we have Mike to thank.
I know about the Vitos, I know about Disco, but what's this new one, this Mercia? What's that about? And yeah, he thought it was a new series.
Brilliant.
That's awesome.
Well, that's well done to you guys.
That's down to Mike who designed them and did everything. So we were like, we want to kind of do this, and he came up with it. Trouble Tossing was great. Pam decided to go and see if we could get any of the celebs to come down and do it, and we ended up getting Robert O'Reilly, Gowron, to come down and throw tribbles at himself, which was a very surreal moment. And then he signed the basketball hoop for us as well, so we've got a signed picture that he was shooting at by him. Then Armin Shimmerman came down about an hour later, didn't beat the Chancellor, and then Nick Locarno came down. We wanted Tom Paris, but we couldn't afford him. So we got Nick Locarno to come down, and he had a go at the hoop as well, and he beat all of them. But it was great. And Robert Duncan McNeil rocked up. No entourage, nobody. Like he was going to shop at Asda tomorrow morning.
Fabulous.
Literally just rocked up in the room, nobody with him. It was very surreal. The Sunday was an incredibly surreal day. Having had the Saturday, which was just mental, because there were just hundreds of it. Was just solid. We were busy all day on the Saturday, and then the Sunday kind of it quietened out a bit. But then we had the guys coming down to do this. We got on the Destination Facebook page and their Instagram and bits like that because we'd done this activity. But yeah, the big thing was the stand was all about, as Marie sort of said, it was all about the communication. It was all about telling people about SFI. It was all about the information we could pass across to get ourselves kind of talking to people. And some of the stories you heard from people about how they've got into Trek and they didn't have anybody to talk to. And there are some people that have joined the region over the weekend who've just hadn't gone to the event with anybody. We had one of the guys who actually joined the Mercia on the Saturday afternoon and was drinking with us on the Saturday night. And that was pretty much it. And he's kind of got involved in everything already, and that's like we're 3 days in. It was just something else. Brilliant event.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome. And for those who don't know, SFI Starfleet International, which is the International Star Trek Fan Association that we're all members of. So you used to headed up the Region 20, which is the United Kingdom version of it, because there's different regions all around the world. And you guys ran the stall for Region 20, is that correct? Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. And was that all about recruiting for ships around the region, or just making people aware of what we actually do?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the whole of the UK. So what happens is it kind of goes out to usually the local CO for where it's going to be, purely on a logistical basis, and checks if that CO wants to do it. So Clive was offered it when Blackpool was first mentioned as DT this year. He offered it out to people if they wanted to help and join in. It happened mainly because of logistics, and a lot of people can't help out. So it ended up being mainly Mercia people who helped out. There was a couple of people from different chapters who ended up, just because they were hanging out with us and they were chatting to people as well, helping out. I think in the end, and so what happens is people would come over, you'd be chatting, you'd be explaining what it is, and when you talk to people about what you get for $10 or £8.11, as I've said quite a few times this weekend.
I know, that's one of those phrases that you completely remember now. And do you remember what it was if you get a family membership though?
It's $14 or just over £10 now, sir.
That's
Yeah.
the one.
So yeah, I mean, you get all of this, and when you talk about the academy, you talk about the different areas, including your medical and your sciences, and you talk about all of this, literally. And somebody said to me, "Oh, I thought it'd be that per month for the amount that you were telling me," and I said, "Yeah, I know, it's amazing. It's just such a tiny amount." And I kept saying to people, "You've found your tribe. You look around, and we can't just do this for a year and then it's enough for a year, because it's really not. You found your tribe." So when I was saying all of this, then what we had is Clive had sent out to the COs beforehand, just finding out a little bit of information about each of the chapters. Do they meet online? Do they meet in person? What is your, not necessarily USPs, but what do your chapter do? Some are massively into cosplay, some really like RPGs, some are just into watching movies or script reads and things like that. So what is it that your chapter really enjoys doing? And then when we were talking to people, a lot of people were coming up from London, some from the south, a lot from the northeast, because it's really easy access to Blackpool. Finding out where their local chapters were, and then finding out if that chapter was for them. Because, for example, there's a few around the sort of Londonish area, but then finding out which chapter around London would suit them best. So we signed up for the Appleton, we signed up for the Raven this weekend, we signed up for our ship, we signed up for the Alba. So it was finding that Clive and I are very, very passionate about the individual, finding out what's the right chapter for them. It might not always be the most local chapter, so finding out what's going to be the best for the fan. And so we think that we did that right for all the fans, didn't we, Clive?
Yeah, there was one that I remember having the conversation with, and she actually was our catchment area, if you kind of say it,
yes,
towards North Wales. But she's moving to London. And I went, well, why would you not join one of the London chapters? So you've got, when you move there, you're going to have that kind of community already built. You'll know people when you go there. Yeah. And we had a few conversations like that, and it wasn't necessarily about the geographical side of it in some respects. It was about what people wanted from that chapter, and that was where the information that we'd been given from the region was really, really good, because we could really kind of get the right people to the right places. So yeah, it was a great experience. Same, we signed up 20, I think it was, to SFI over the 3 days, which was great. And it wasn't difficult. It was just selling the benefits and the advantages of being part of that community. And I said, a lot of, there were people we talked to who were mother and sons, and guys who'd gone on their own, who didn't know anybody, and suddenly they were part of this group that actually wanted to get them involved and could do events, and suddenly they kind of realized that there actually was a bigger sci-fi and bigger Trek world out there that actually, really wanted them and wanted them to be involved.
Yeah, I think that's one of the appealing things about, well, fan clubs in general, but specifically Star Trek, is that everyone seems to buy into the philosophy of inclusion and stuff like that Star Trek promotes in its television shows, and I think SFI and I'm sure all the chapters do as well in each of their ships. So out of curiosity for everybody that might want to know, what kind of how do you mainly run your chapter?
We just toss it off. We don't really do anything, to be honest.
Wait, let me make notes.
Come on, we don't really do much. We're just, it's I might nip out to Chippy on Friday night with them, and that's about it. But no. So a little bit of a history of us. So we started 18 months ago, and we commissioned after 8 months. We had, I think we got 22 on board, I think, when we commissioned. And the first meeting of the group, and this kind of is the ethos that we've got, is that we sat together there were 3 or 4 of us that were involved at the beginning. We said, well, what do we want from an SFI chapter? And it was the community side of it. It was the fact that we wanted to do an online and an in-person split, and we wanted to be able to offer a variety of activities. And we're 18 months in, and we've not actually repeated a meeting yet. So we've done we've got Nathan, who's very, very creative, who's done Taskmaster for us, and he's done a quiz online for us. And he's the guy who put the frame together. That if you look on the R20 10 forward page, there's hundreds of pictures now of everybody in this frame, which is very, very famous now. And you know what? It's brilliant. It brought a lot of people together. It's all signed as well, and there is a plan for that frame as well going forward. There is going to be something else to do with that, but bookmark it. We'll come back to it. It's been about just getting together. There's a singular chat group that we have, but it's just active all the time. I've driven 3 hours today, and I've got here, and it's like I've got a flipping encyclopedia of entries to read through because we're that active this afternoon. And that's what it's been about for us. It's been about. It doesn't necessarily mean we have to do something. We have to do something every month, but it's been about just bringing that group of people together and using the skills and talents that we've seen, and hopefully we can help develop and go forward from there.
Yeah, it's the same with the Omnus here. We have people from all around the UK in the ship, as well as the States. With
I was just about to say.
with David, we have South Africa, because we were originally Region 8.
David is from the States.
Yeah, so I said David from the States.
Okay.
So yeah, we have from everybody. So a lot of our stuff is done online to make it inclusive to everyone. Although we have had like away missions where it's just the Scottish or the English or whatever people, or South African people meet up and get together. And I think it's the inclusiveness of everybody, no matter where you're from, what background you're from, is something that brings a lot of people to Star Trek, and I think that's absolutely awesome. Have you got any interesting stories, or just really cool memories, or wee tidbits that might have happened with any of the any of the cast members that you happen to pop into?
There's a few. There's Marie having to be mopped up after everybody wished her happy birthday after a plane trip, because it was her birthday on the Sunday, and Armin Shimmer wished her happy birthday, and that was pretty much the end of the day. We might as well just sent her home at that point. And then Robbie Duncan McNeil wished her happy birthday, which is, he signed on her autograph picture "Happy Birthday" on it as well. So the autograph has got that on it, and pretty much we had to go and get the mop and bucket at that point because she was just on the floor. Scoop her up. But it was, yeah, there are pictures of that as well, which is just brilliant. That was a real highlight watching.
Clive, how's Armin's arm?
Yeah, anyway, we'll skip past that. Let's move on. Let's talk about something completely. I might have opened the door on Armin Schumann. But anyway, let's not talk about that.
No, that sounds very interesting. Please do tell.
No, now we have to hear about this.
I was walking down a corridor and I opened the door and he was behind the door. I thought, and I kind of, oh right, I'm just gonna go somewhere else now. Just gonna keep going, keep walking. Holding Cyril Lofton's queue up was quite good, and getting shouted at for holding the queue up was Pam and me and Sam were in that. We got told off for that. What else? Oh, I mean, you couldn't. I think Maria, you couldn't. We were in a little room down the bottom, and to get right at the other side was the Traders Hall, where Sven from Space Dock Birmingham was, and David, and the Traders Hall and all the stands and everything were at the other end. And this is not a small hotel in Norwich. It literally
is a castle. It literally is a castle.
Oh.
It got renamed by Trek fans as Teruk Norbrek.
Excellent.
I was like, genius. But
That's very
to
good.
get from it was a fair walk across. It was like, I think
We got our steps in, didn't we?
Yeah, and you couldn't, after we talked to so many people and we've met so many people over the weekend, you couldn't walk from one end to the other without having 5 conversations on the way back. Yeah. I think it took about 45 minutes at one point to get from one end of the building to the other because you just couldn't, because you just go, oh, how was your weekend going? I haven't seen you since right. And that, but it was just incredible, just amazing. And then Saturday night, anyway, Sunday morning was fun. But anyway.
Yeah.
Armin's blaming you for his bad performance at Toss the Trouble.
Yeah, totally. Totally my fault.
He was the worst.
Was he? He's the one person I've actually seen pictures of him doing it. I haven't seen pictures of anybody else, but I've seen Armin doing it. That was quite good.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was
I'll have to hold
absolutely
these up to the
brilliant.
screen so you'll see them, but I'll find the picture of. And of course, we met Christina Chong, who's got now a Region 20 badge.
Oh, excellent!
Thanks, Sam. We've got. Oh no, that's me in front of the stand line on the floor. We don't want to see that one. Where is it? There's Robbie Duncan McNeil doing his triple tossing.
That's me on the floor, on my knees.
Yeah. But Marie on the floor trying to pick tribbles up from him. And then we've got, where's the Chancellor? There he is. There's Chancellor Gowron. Just prepping. In fact, he was heckling the guy before him. Which is quite amusing watching him just heckle this guy going, I'm stood next to Gowron. I'm throwing dribbles at a picture of Gowron, and he stood next to me. This guy was having this really surreal moment, which was really odd. But yeah, it was just. There's so many things we could go back on, and not necessarily stuff with the celebs. It's the community. The guys on the stand, we were going, right, well, we'll delegate breaks and we'll make sure on listen. We're going, right, do you want to go get some lunch? No, I'm all right, thanks. And you get to 6 o'clock and you think, we've just been here all day, and people just wanted to stay. We had people who were ticket holders coming and helping out at some points, and it was just the community was amazing. And we had people coming down. The guys from the Merlin was actually one of the funny bits for me. So we'd had the 3 guys on the Sunday. All the guys from the Merlin came down and went, oh, how's things? We went, oh, you should have been here 5 minutes ago. We had Robert O'Reilly doing triple tossing. They were like, oh, man, we missed it. It's like, yeah, not a problem. Anyway, they came back an hour later. I went, should have been here 5 minutes, guys. We had to... I'm in Shimmin here doing triple. They're like, you're kidding me. And about an hour later...
You should have been here 5 minutes ago.
5 minutes ago, right? And they're like, you kidding? 3, honestly. It was just little things like that, and just the whole camaraderie, and meeting people like Andy Raythorne and Alan from and Michelle.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the Triple Whisperer.
Mate, we got the Triple Whisperer to throw tribbles as well, and there is photographic proof of that. But it was just the community spirit of Region 20 coming together was just fantastic, and to get the frames signed by so many, it was 54 members. We got it signed by in the end.
From how many chapters was it in the end?
11 chapters and 54 members were represented.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Super.
That sounds absolutely awesome.
Sorry, I'm getting very passionate about it. I just loved it so much.
Yeah. that's what Region 20 should be. It should be about our community coming together. We are individual chapters, but we are a region, and it's been so nice meeting other chapters.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's been awesome meeting you guys. So
I talk to Clive quite often, so I get what the community is like. And he's giggling because he knows it's true.
Usually after about 4
and David also
yeah, you get me after about 4.
David also knows about talking to Clive as well, because the two of them chat about the.
Yeah, you did me a flashback for the runabout, which was excellent. I really enjoyed reading that as well. It was a really good piece. And in fact, that was the runabout edition that we had on the stand. So the runabout is the magazine we do for the region. It has been delayed at the moment because I'm waiting for all the stuff from Destination to come through. Plus, it's the VIC this weekend, and I do believe there are obviously 20 people who are up for the awards. So I want to kind of hold off and do the whole lot in one go. So this is going to be kind of a mega sort of celebratory issue when we do it. But the issue that we actually had out on the stand had David's flashback article in it. So it was a Q2 one. So people were reading that on the stand and kind of saying how good it was and how good they were enjoying the magazine as well. So you were there on the stand in spirit, sir, which was great to see.
Hey, I've gone international. I love it.
Definitely.
And I see Destination Trek is in the same place next year. Will you guys be involved in that as well?
TBC, but you never know.
Yes.
I spent a 2-hour band drive home with Nathan. And pretty much for 2 hours we were going, what should we do for next year? So we'll see how it goes. I can't confirm or deny anything at the moment.
We might have to bank some sleep for it.
I need to sleep first, and I need a day off. I've not had a day. I've got my next day off is next Wednesday, so just give me a week to kind of get back to normal. I'll be all right.
Well, if you ever need help next year, we've already been talking about it. The Omnus is going to go through as many crew as we can. So, and now it's on video as well, so you guys can't back out. Omnus crew is going to be going to DT next year. Get your things in order. It's already been discussed slightly in the chat, so we're always there to help.
Get ready for your barbell, that's all I'm saying. But that's fine.
That all sounds absolutely amazing. Sounds like a fantastic time. And I must admit, I'm going to try my very best to make it next year. It all sounds great, and to meet you guys in person if you're there. That'd be brilliant as well. Meet everybody.
And the cosplays. Honestly, the cosplays were. Oh my goodness! There were kiddies. There was a baby Borg and a lady who her mum was pregnant, so she called it a Borg maturation chamber. There was 7 of 9. There was Kai Wynn. There was Klingons.
The lady who was dressed and she changed costume every day. She was Reginald Broccoli on the first day, and then on the second day she was Queen Arachne of the Spider People which was just the most beautifully made dress, and it was like hundreds of pounds worth of lace in the back and 7 months' work she put into making this back.
Wow.
And she changed costume every day, and I kept seeing her husband because her husband wasn't very heavily disguised, and I kept seeing him going, "Hi, how you doing? How's you? Oh, it's you!" And she was in a transporter beam as a Realm of Fear creature. That was weird, but brilliant.
Yes.
And
her husband was the president of the Earth, wasn't he? When she was the Arachne. Yeah, president of Earth. Yeah, honestly, there was some amazing. Reginald stuck in the transporter beam, but he was there, wasn't he?
Oh,
yeah. Honestly. So Data with the crystalline, yes, the Jemadar was amazing. Somebody was doing
Law with the crystalline entity.
No, with the crystalline entity.
It's time just as Law in the with a crystalline entity above him, which was phenomenal.
Do you remember the Gorn and Kirk doing the fight scene with the music? That were actually just around doing the
in a whole fight scene in the room
for that.
with the script and everything. Absolutely phenomenal. You can't. It's one of those where I'm still trying to comprehend everything that I saw in 3 days. I can't. Honestly, can't.
That's the thing, it's like an injection of serotonin, but it's not enough. That's why you need SFI to just push you along.
That sounds absolutely awesome. I need to talk to you guys when I'm making the decision next year whether I'm going, because that'll definitely put me in the mood.
A caravan. My recommendation for accommodation is just get yourselves a group caravan. What the suggestion for next year is we're going to get a big one for everybody in the chapter that's going. But get yourself a caravan. It's a great experience. You're all in there together. Nobody really cares at the end. We had a party on the Friday night. We got about 9 of us down into the caravan. We had pizzas and beers, and we were going to play some games. And we ended up just chatting for 3 hours. But yeah, get yourself a caravan. It's probably better accommodation than the Norbreck. But it's really good for community spirit as well. It's just great.
That sounds absolutely awesome. Looking forward to it. Next topic on that we had planned for today is everybody's favourite Star Trek movie and why. So I'll start with our guests. I'll start with Clive. If you want to kick us off for this one.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll be very, very quick. I'll try and keep it to a minute. It's easily Wrath of Khan.
I knew you'd choose that. I knew you would.
It's without doubt my favourite film of all time. I've spoken to Nicholas Meyer a little bit about it and how he made it. I've got versions of it going out my ears. I just think the whole premise of it, the idea of it, the concept of it, the execution is just the quintessential Star Trek. I love the motion picture. I love Star Trek 3 as well. I haven't seen the 40th anniversary edition. But for me, there is nothing that matches just the epic storytelling nature of the Wrath of Khan in any way whatsoever. Just, you haven't got a podcast long enough, to be fair. I don't want to go on for too long. But it's easily Star Trek 2 for me.
Yeah, that's what one of the storylines that everybody wanted to revisit from the original series, and it just made such an awesome film. It was it was absolutely brilliant. So I agree with you there. And Marie. Yep.
Okay, I'll jump in. As far as stories are concerned, I have to agree with my captain, but, and this will be a little controversial, because it was the first Trek film I saw at the cinema, and I think, Clive, there's somebody at your door. If you need to just go to the door, don't listen to this bit.
There's nobody there. I'm in a hotel room in the middle of Bristol. If anybody's coming to this door, it'd be really impressive if they know where I am right now.
Okay, well, basically, it's the Star Trek film with Chris. It's the first Star Trek film with Chris Pine. I told you. I told you.
Mine too.
I told you. Because,
Me too.
Because it's the first time I saw Trek at the cinema, and I was so
Me
excited.
too.
And thank you. You understand? It was the first time I'd seen it, and it was really exciting for me. So it's got such a special place in my heart, and I probably am just about to be demoted for it.
Oh, not at all. I agree. I loved it, and the first 15 minutes of that film still give me chills. When I saw it for the first time in the cinema, it was outstanding. So no, I don't.
I can't be demoted, so I agree with you. And I'll box live if he demotes you, because it's my favorite one as well.
Yeah, the amount of grown adults that I've talked to that have cried at the beginning of that film, as when the Kelvin gets destroyed and Kirk's dad is gone, is it's amazing. It really gets everybody at the beginning part.
I didn't like it.
You didn't?
I knew it.
No, I didn't like it.
It's something you and Ross will agree on.
I didn't like it. I don't mind the new films. I liked the one with Khan, but it was just, I just thought it was bad. I just thought it was bad. I don't know. I can't even put a finger on. I just thought it was bad.
So what is your favourite then, Craig?
Star Trek First Contact. The Borg.
Okay.
Good film.
I thought it was the first dark Star Trek, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
You know, because all the rest were like happy-go-lucky, apart from the Wrath of Khan, where there were a lot of violence, but everyone was like, "Yay!" This was the first dark, angry, if you will, for lack of a word, Star Trek film. You know, with Picard saying "Nitwit Elaine no more," and he shouts at Lily and all that. It felt what I thought Star Trek would actually be in real life. There are going to be emotions. People are going to be angry about it. And I just loved it. And the Borg looked mean. From the TV series, they were moving money. It was moving money Borg. And they looked angry. Yeah, and I just thought,
particularly she looked amazing. The special effects, makeup and stuff on her was brilliant.
You know, the whole premise behind it, I thought, yeah, you know what? And then Stephen Cochrane, the raging alcoholic, I was like, I can get behind that. I can understand why. It was just a dark, angry Star Trek, and I just loved it.
Awesome. And yourself, David?
I gotta agree with Craig. It's First Contact. Phenomenal. I mean, great storylines, since if we're going to talk about storylines, but visual effects were there. Multiple reasons. We had the Sovereign class starship, the best version of the Enterprise ever. Sorry if you don't agree, you're wrong. And you're wrong, Clive.
I'm wrong.
But but my favorite thing about it is, and again, we don't have a podcast long enough for this, but it rebooted the entire franchise right under everybody's noses. Just in terms of, because, you know, if you look at it, we had the Enterprise television show going on at the same time, and then a couple episodes or maybe a season or two after First Contact, we see an introduction of the Borg on that show. How's that possible? You know, so we saw an entire reboot of a franchise happen right underneath our noses, and I think it was great, and it opened up the doors to so many things, just you know, story-wise, production-wise, things that could be done, you know, throughout, you know, Star Trek as it went down, Picard, the talk about legacy, things of that nature. Sorry, Ross, Discovery as it went into the future, you know. So, yeah, I think with First Contact, we got a lot of things to open up. And for that is why it's my favorite.
Yeah, well, Kieran hasn't got a mic. He's not working, but he agrees with you. Sent me a wee message. With hand signals, would you like to tell us why it's your favourite?
Through dance, please, if you could.
Yeah. In the medium of dance.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Karen?
I already said mine is the same as Marie's.
All right, okay, cool, awesome.
That's my favorite.
Well, I seem to have a different one from everyone. Mine's is 6, The Undiscovered Country.
That's my second favourite one.
Yeah, for me, growing up, it was everything. The characters were constantly evolving and developing throughout all the TV series and the movies. And Undiscovered Country seemed to be the point for me anyway, where everybody was in their element. They knew their character, they knew who they were, what they were meant to be. Everyone was so confident in what they were doing, and the story with the because that's one thing I could never ever figure out as a kid. Is like, why can't you just fire when you're cloaked? Because like that make things a wee bit too easy. But yeah, that whole one for me was just a brilliant send off for the original cast, and yeah, it just that one always sticks in my head for me. Is my favourite, especially growing up. Yeah, because I used to. There was a cinema in Glasgow that used to once a year play all the Star Trek movies, one after the other in a row all day.
Ah.
And it was great, but it got to when I first went, it was 5 movies, and then it was 6, and then it was 7, then it was 8, and then I was like, I'm spending like 12-13 hours a day here watching Star Trek, which I'm not complaining about. Especially all the Trekkies, but yeah, it was brilliant. That was always the one that I was always looking forward to. It was a very fine defining line between the original series ending and Star Trek beyond that for me. Oh,
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much for joining us.
No, it's fine.
No problem.
It's a pleasure. I will speak to you all soon.
Yeah.
We'll see you definitely in Blackpool next year.
Yes.
Awesome, looking forward to it. Right, take care.
Thank you so much, Clive.
Pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on about every film and its merits, and if Karen lets me, I probably would. But as moderator, she's meant to make sure that I don't speak too much. But yeah, no, it was absolutely brilliant. Now the next question, maybe a bit of a controversial one. It may spark debate.
But that's what we want.
That's what we want. So, who would win in a space battle between Pike and Janeway?
All right, so let's get the parameters on that.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Yeah. So,
these rules set in there.
are we talking respective crew and ships, or are we bringing everything up to terms? You know, because we have an Intrepid class versus a Constitution class. Are we going to give them both quantum torpedoes? Or are we going to reduce the phaser banks to the Mach 4? So
for this question, it is starship that they know inside out, because both of them do, of comparable size and weaponry and defensive capabilities, with a crew that they've broken in, let's say, and let's leave it at that. So they've not one's got a specific advantage of having a particular crew member who knows them very well and can sort of like preempt what they're going to do.
I would go Voyager then.
You would go, sorry?
Janeway.
Janeway.
Janeway and Voyager.
Yes.
Yeah, Janeway. Absolutely, she'd like to swallow with it. You know, little maneuverability. Just the whole crew's better. So Janeway for me. That's my vote.
I'm biased. She's my favorite captain, so it's Janeway for me anyway.
No.
Yes.
David, you look like you're itching to say something.
He's raging.
Well, I you know, because for me, it all comes down to who do you have as pilot? Who do you have on, tactical? Who do you know? Because my thing is like, okay, if you have Tuvok on tactical, I'm going to take, Janeway, because Tuvok's backing her up, and, Vulcans logically and stuff like that, he's going to disrupt weapon systems and, power systems. So, whatever ship is going to get in there. Plus, he served with Captain Sulu and among many other great captains. But, when it comes down to piloting, Paris is a great pilot, but, Ortez, she's just, the way she was taking that Constitution class through a lot of stuff. So, for me, there's a lot of factors that go into this. We know Janeway was an engineer prior to, moving up into operations and everything else. So, it's a toss-up. It really is. I want to say, if it was Intrepid versus Constitution class of that era, definitely Janeway. You have a faster ship, more firepower, because the Intrepid class had 3, weapons banks up front, 3 in the aft, opposed to 2 and 2. And you're looking at possible quantum torpedoes against just standard photon torpedoes, but you also had the tricobalt warheads on Voyager as well. So for me,
if you include the transphasic torpedoes as well, they're getting a chance.
Yeah, it's so there's so many things that could play into it. Head to head, are we talking Janeway after she comes back from the Delta Quadrant, or are we just talking straight out of?
No, I'd say the characters as they are, up to date as they are. So we're talking Admiral Janeway. Oh no! Let's say Captain Janeway, because we'll put Captain against Captain. Captain Janeway, then the Voyager versus Pike. As far as his character has taken them so far in Strange New Worlds.
With Borg shielding on Voyager, I'd probably say I would honestly have to go with Janeway, only because of the vast maneuverability and speed out of from Voyager and firepower.
That was my thinking behind it.
Yeah, Kieran messaged me, says exact same. He says Voyager, due to the weapons, the shields, they seem more gelled as a family than the rest of them. Marie, your thoughts?
So I saw this question earlier, and I'm the same as you. I'm okay, and I'm a Janeway girl.
Yes.
She's the one that got them out of the Delta Quadrant. I am a big Pike fan. Didn't he fail one of his subjects? He brought it up and he was like, hey, look at this. My
quantum mechanics, I think it was.
Yeah, you see? Janeway would never do that. So, she's a straight A student.
Okay.
She's a straight A student.
Would a better question be Kirk's Enterprise against Pike's Enterprise then? Would that not be a better question? Instead of Voyager, because Voyager's always going to win. If you're going with the Voyager now and the 20, there's no comparison. So would a better question would be Kirk's Enterprise against Pike's Enterprise?
We talking the Constitution Beta or the Constitution Retrofit?
We'll go with the original. The original.
Okay, so it's just straight up Constitution class?
Yeah, Constitution against Constitution.
I'd say Pike. I would have to go with Pike. Just because I think he's a little more seasoned and would make slightly better decisions as to, how many red shirts has Kirk killed. So
yeah, Kirk can be a little off the book and impulsive, some would say.
Yeah, I'd still go for Janeway. I mean, Pike has got as a very seasoned officer. He's got everything behind him. He's got everything going for him. But Janeway has got the vast experience of fighting multiple adversaries. I can't even say that word. Multiple
Adversaries?
Adversaries. That's it. That she knows absolutely nothing about, and she has to change up tactics because of that. She's fought so many people that have attacked her. She doesn't know who they are, what kind of, how far they'll take things. She's managed to get Voyager past the Borg on multiple occasions. And as good as Pike is, I still think Janeway would take it.
Yeah, the Borg and 8472. Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. I do like Pike though. Yeah. He is quite. I would say I prefer Pike over Kirk, 100%. But that's just because of the era that I grew up in. But I don't know. There's just something about Pike that I do like as well. Janeway, like I said, will always be my favorite. But definitely, if it was Pike versus Kirk, then I would definitely go Pike.
Pike in the J.J. Abrams movies, the character who played the actor who played him was really, really good, and I thought the best version of Pike. And then Anson Mount came along, and Anson Mount is absolutely amazing. I think he's brilliant. Absolutely. He totally carries that show. I mean, don't get me wrong, the rest of the cast are absolutely brilliant, but I think if it wasn't for him, it wouldn't the whole thing wouldn't gel together properly. Yeah. He totally holds it. And then that's what a main member should do for a show. I mean, the person who's got the primary focus, which on a Star Trek vessel is the captain. And he's taken Pike to. I mean, if it was based on actors, I would take Anson Mount over. I can't remember Kirk's.
The other guy.
Kirk's real name.
Which one? Chris Pine or William Shatner?
William Shatner, that's it. William Shatner.
Oh my god!
As good as William Shatner is, he is a product of his era, and I think Anson Mount is today's captain.
Yes. Yeah. Agreed.
Don't know Picard though.
No Picard.
No one is.
Definitely not a Picard.
And nobody's getting any close.
No one can replace. No one can replace him. That's something everyone can agree on. Is no one can replace him.
Just wanted to put that out there.
I don't know. I think Marie might have a different opinion on that.
No, can't.
TNG's not my favourite. No, I really like him, but TNG was never my favourite. So it's I really like him, but shush Marie.
What did you grow up with? Just for curiosity, Marie? What was the first Star Trek series? What was the first Star Trek series that you watched and grew up with?
Voyager,
yeah.
Fair enough, yeah. Mine was TNG.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, same here, yeah.
My wife's favourite is Voyager, though. She loves Pathfinder, where they make contact with Earth. She cries every time.
Yeah.
Every time. It's every time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's behind. After TNG, I think Voyager is my most watched series. It's one I've watched more episodes of on repeat than any other one, even Deep Space Nine and stuff.
That's fine. Thank you so much for joining, Mary. We really appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thank you very much. Nice to see you. See you again soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Lovely to meet you all.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Technology again.
Oops. I get dogs come try to get in on it now.
It's okay. I had to shoo mine away a couple times.
But yeah.
The wife away.
Yeah, I think Voyager would be my second favourite series after TNG.
Mine now, it used to be, I watch, see, when I watch Star Trek, I watch it from the first episode and I watch the whole series, all the way through. I don't pick part. Voyager used to be mine, but it's now, I think it's leaning towards Strange New Worlds more.
Strange New Worlds. The only thing it's not going for it is the amount of episodes versus what Voyager's been able to do. That's the only thing it's not going for.
24.
It's pretty good.
I'm just doing Enterprise now. I think I'm on Series 4 now. I've just had the Zinnia War and everything, and I'm like, the more I watch it, the more I'm like, how angry was Archer? He was just angry all the time, weren't he?
Yeah. I think they try to
Big
portray
people
more,
like that,
they try to portray a more sort of less or
happy-go-lucky
version of a human being than what we're supposed to be evolved in when the time of Kirk and Picard. So he does get angry. He lets his emotions guide him too much sometimes. But it's it's really good. Just do yourself a favour. See, when you get to the very last episode, don't watch it. Yeah, it's just cutting it off just before that last episode.
I can't believe they cancelled it, because the fifth series you were going to see the refit and where it starts developing into the actual Enterprise as we know it, weren't it? And I can't believe they
it was supposed to have an actual engineering hull. Stuff.
So Series 5 is where you see the engineering hull and it develops into what we know what the Enterprise looks like, and they cancelled it. But there are rumours. I've just been hearing on the grapevine that they're thinking about making it and coming back. Making a Series 5 of it. There are little rumours out there. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is Star Trek, so anything can be true.
Yeah. Yeah, they had so much to tell with the formation of the Federation and stuff like that. It was shocking that they cancelled it when they did. I was really disappointed.
The refit NX-01 is canon now, isn't it? It's actually canon. That's what it was, because it was in Picard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it's canon now. So I don't know if there's some merit behind these rumours or not. And it was canon.
Possibly. So. I know in line canon, for beta canon anyway, that was there not long after the end of the show. The whole refit and fans started doing their own research of what season 5 would be, as they do. I think at least the ship anyway has been brought into mainline canon with Star Trek Picard.
And it looks good, to be fair.
It does. That is the one museum I would love to visit more than any other.
Yeah. I'd be fangirling over the Enterprise Day, but like,
I know. See, if somebody would just like, I don't know, come up with a few $1 billion or pounds and be able to like build all that'd be awesome.
Maybe if I got there, they'd be missing a few ships.
Ooh,
100%.
Well, if Worf didn't destroy it, it would have been the E. But
Well, did he destroy it? We'd never actually find out. But it might just be like lost under the ice or something like that,
because he doesn't want to talk about it, so nobody knows what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely would be the E. D would be gone. Definitely, of course. I do like the I do like the Odyssey class, even though it only got a brief appearance. But what was nice about that is, it was actually a design done for Star Trek Online that actually made it, and it was done. I think it was like fan design or something like that. Yeah, and it made it into Star Trek in canon. So it's like, we as fans of the show do actually have some pull, with the creative direction of the show. So I mean that's great. Actually, really makes you feel even more part of it.
Yeah, it's always been like that with the original series, when they cancelled the original series and they had the mass fandom, and they just got people sending letters to CBS and Paramount like, no, you need to keep this going.
Yeah.
So Star Trek fans have always got that little bit of power. So look, Strange New Worlds is another one. That was new in the pipeline, was it?
Right. Yeah. So it's just one of those things that it's like, it's amazing to see exactly, the things that come up just for just a television episode that we now have in our daily lives, such as tablets and electronic doors that open up when you walk towards it, so you can walk inside. To the amount of things that even the fan input into what's going on actually makes it into the show and actually benefits people's lives in some way, shape, or form. It's just absolutely. Oh yeah. Oh, I should have worn my Bluetooth, but
It's insane.
So it's just amazing.
The one thing that I really liked as well, what they done about the Starfleet Museum, is that they had, I think it was the New Jersey, a sort of original Constitution class from the original series era. It had the same sort of plating and design as the original series, which was different from even Enterprise, which is supposedly come before it because it was made afterwards and made to look more realistic, but it didn't look out of place. When you look at them separately, you look at the original series ship, and it's quite flat, and there's matte. There's not much to it in terms of detailing around the hull. Whereas Starship now, you can tell that the panels are different colours and the windows and everything that's in it. But it didn't look out of place, which really surprised me, and I really liked. It was brilliant.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's in Ticonderoga, New York, or at least the one that popped up first for me.
So we're doing a trip to New York then as well.
Been there, done that.
I mean, it's only about a 7-hour drive for me, so I can make it.
Isn't there a constitution from the series in the Smithsonian as well? But did it just get refurbed at the Smithsonian because it was found and they had to repair it, didn't they? Sure, there was one in the Smithsonian. In DC.
Let's see.
I could probably drive to New York for my brother. My brother stays in Ontario. Wouldn't be too much of a drive.
I would have to get a passport, I would.
A hell of a bus ride. Hell of a bus ride.
Can he just leave me there? You don't need to go through passport control?
Managed to get my mic working now.
Awesome.
At the end.
It's the National Air and Space Museum that actually has the Starship Enterprise.
Okay. Yeah, I knew it was one of the big ones. I can't remember which one it was. It's like one of the big 8-foot models or something like that. Is it? Sure, it's one of the original models.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just looking at the picture here. It's probably about a good 12, 14 feet.
Yeah, it's a big old boy.
Yeah.
Here's a question: if someone were to give you guys and gals a starship from any version of Star Trek, what would it be?
Voyager.
It would be a hero ship or anything like that, just your favourite design or whatever.
Not take away the Enterprise, because obviously everyone's going to pick that. You've got to take away the Enterprise.
Okay, fair enough. We'll take away the Enterprise out of the equation then.
It'd have to be the Reliant for me. The USS Reliant. Yeah, beautiful
Awesome.
ship.
So it is a beautiful ship, yep.
Mine's probably the Steam Runner.
Steam Runner class is awesome.
I like the
mine
one
would
that
be
Omnus
one of
is
its-
based off of, the Nova one. I just like the
Oh, cool.
Omnus design. And that's me not just being biased, but I do just like it.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
Predator
Steam Runner in Norway and Akira and that, they were all built to fight the Borg originally. Because Akira would be an Akira class ship would be mine.
Yeah. See, it's rough for me because I really do love the Hestia class, which a lot of people aren't familiar with. So I'm going to go with one that people really are familiar with. I'm going to have to go with the Miranda class. And we're talking about the original Titan design. That heavy cruiser
Nice.
retro. Yeah.
Hestia class, that looks really cool actually, just looking that up here. Hestia Advanced Air. So it's a 4 nacelle design.
Yep, 4 nacelle design, heavy escort.
Yeah, it looks like a bit like the is that the Prometheus?
In a
Or
way,
just
it has
looks
like it kind of like it has like the Prometheus saucer section. But yeah, that
looks awesome.
It's one of the ships I've got actually in STO, in addition to my Romulan Tactical Warbird, and it's just like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the STO color palette with the black and grey looks awesome. Looks really mean. It looks really cool. I like it. I like STO have done that with quite a lot, and I think even with the Odyssey class in Picard started to do that, show that as well. Sort of different, they did sort of multiple color palettes between the starships.
Yeah.
Rather than the overall shades of grey. Nothing wrong with shades of grey. As long as
I knew that.
That's a completely different podcast.
Yeah, that's another topic for another day. So I don't know if Hugh has anything else that he wants
no,
to
that's
go over.
me. Thank you.
Awesome. So if anyone has any closing remarks or thoughts, now is your time to do so, and we'll just obviously do it in whatever order you guys want.
Just apologies for that last bit. Both my hearing aids stopped working. I couldn't hear a damn thing.
Oh,
So I was like, "Oh, why can't I get it working?" Another brilliant podcast. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's been awesome. Peace and long life. Live long and prosper to everybody.
I'd just like to thank everybody for watching and tune in next time and everything else. Jill on True.
Thanks for watching.
Awesome. As my wonderful crew has said, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. You can, if you're not watching this on YouTube, you can obviously catch it on all the different audio platforms. And if you would like to join the Omnus, we will put down the information as well. We'd love to have new crew members aboard. We're always welcome. And as you can see, it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can be anywhere and you're welcome to join us. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas for our next episode, please do send us a message and we'll work it in. And until then, guys, thank you so much and have a wonderful day. And yeah, we'll see you around. Goodbye.